What do it do, YouTube? It is your boys, CJ and Frank, and we back at it again with another episode of Seibel Shoots. Uh, now, for today's topic, me and Frank actually discussed what we wanted to talk about here. Just one of the topics, which was, by the way, to answer the question on this video, yes, mirrors are a scam, 100%,
Bro,
100%.
you're supposed to ignore the title. That's the joke, bro. You're supposed to ignore the title.
Oh,
We tell them that was a joke title that we're supposed to completely ignore. That's been the point of the title from the beginning. We tell them a joke ass title that makes absolutely no sense, and we don't even talk about it. That's the
I'm
point of
not.
the title.
No. And yes, bunnies are evil, by the way. But whatever. But anyway, so the first thing I want to discuss, Frank, is wrestling crowds that try to hijack shows
See,
with.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about this though.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure we talked about this enough. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
um, so yeah. Okay, fine. We won't discuss the crowds hijacking shows
Yeah,
anymore.
I swear we've gone over that a lot. So there's no reason to keep recycling it.
Okay. Okay. By the way, hey, Pepsi, sponsor your favorite YouTube channel. You know you want to. You know you want to. Uh, so, Frank, uh, you fucking shot my whole show down. I don't even
Well,
know.
I got something I want to talk about.
Is it the weather in New
So,
York?
no, not that, but it is New York related. Hang on one second. So
New York is trash.
anyway,
Not even a dignified
um,
response.
so what I want to talk about is something that is pretty controversial in baseball, and it involves hit by pitches, and when players fucking go nuts after they hit a big home run, the other team gets all angry about it. And this of course involves the Mets a couple of days
What is that
ago.
clicking sound?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, continue.
I don't hear no clicking sound.
No, I can hear it.
So so a couple nights ago, I should say, because we were on the West Coast, the Mets were. Francisco
You're not
Alvarez.
the host.
No, I wasn't on the West Coast. I'm saying the Mets were.
Oh,
And then that means it was night over here. It was way nighttime over here.
oh.
So a couple nights ago, the Mets were down 1-0, ninth inning, down to their final out, down to their final strike, and Francisco Alvarez, as he has legitimately done all season long, for the third time this season, brought the Mets back from the brink down to their final out to tie the game. He's done it now three times. He hits an opposite field home run, and also as he has done all season after getting a big clutch hit, he went absolutely nuts running down that first baseline, jumping up and down. As soon as that ball hit and went out, he was jumping up and down, going nuts. And I even noticed rewatching the home run on YouTube. I actually noticed that our third base coach Joey Cora was like, "Bro, calm down, calm down." And I'm sitting there like, "Cora, sit your old school ass down, bro. He just tied the damn game down with one strike to play with. When you hit a home run to tie a damn game when you're down to your final out, you should be jumping up and down. You
Facts.
should be going crazy." And then, of
Facts.
course, the very next game, the Arizona Diamondbacks hit Alvarez in a situation where it was very questionable if it was on purpose or not. If it was, they're absolutely crazy because it was first and second, nobody out. They're down 9 runs. They got no wiggle room to be giving up any more runs, and they give Alvarez a free base, hitting him, loading the bases with nobody out. It's already a 9-0 game. If they did it on purpose, then they're fucking crazy. If they didn't do and if they did it on purpose, look, if you don't want the Francisco Alvarez's of the world jumping up and down celebrating because they just got a big hit off you to either tie, go ahead, or win the game late, here's what you do. You make sure that their asses is walking back to the dugout realizing that they didn't get the job done. That's how you get them to not celebrate. Strike them out, fly out, ground out, whatever you got to do. If you didn't get the job done, you deserve to watch Alvarez jump up like that. Plain and simple.
Damn.
And for hit by pitches has actually been a bit of a controversy with this damn fan base when it really shouldn't, because the Mets actually led the league in hit by pitches last year, and everybody they not only led the league, they set the MLB record for most hit by pitches in a season. And everybody cried every time. Why are they hitting our players? Why are they hitting our players? Bruh. Mark Canha, a hit by pitch ace. No, don't hit back. That's a free base. You do not give the team a free base. Anyway, as I was getting, Mark Canha, hit by pitch specialist. He's a hit by pitch ace. He's going up there, and if you're going to throw inside, he ain't moving out the way. He will take it. The baseball today is all about on base percentage. A hit by pitch is part of getting on base. Brandon Nimmo, another one who gets hit all the time. He is going up there, not necessarily going up there like, oh, I hope this pitch hits me. I hope this pitch hits me. But he is going up there. If you're going to throw inside on him, he ain't moving out of the way, and he shouldn't. If you throw inside, you're running the risk of a hit by pitch. Now, that's a totally different story about, should guys get out of the way, which I am 100% against, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. The complaining about hit by pitches, which Met fans were doing all year long last year, they still do it to this day. And I get the argument. If you hit our guys, they get hurt. Well, guess what? As they say in pro wrestling, this ain't ballet. Dude, players can get hurt diving for a ball. Do you want them to stop diving for a ball? No,
Bruh,
you got to dive to get that.
People are about to get hurt swinging the bat and throwing.
Yeah, it just happened in last night's game.
Yeah.
The same situation. Shortly after Alvarez got hit.
Whatever. Yeah, you mess up your ball. Yeah.
Yep, that's a big issue with pitchers throwing hard these days. But legitimately, shortly after Alvarez got hit, in the next half inning, Corbin, oh my gosh, why did I forget his name? No. It's damn sure not Baron Corbin. Oh my gosh, he's one of the Diamondbacks' young stars. He got hurt swinging for the fences. He swung as hard as he could, and he popped his shoulder or something. I don't know, but he got hurt. Yep. You can get hurt doing anything in baseball. Granted, you don't want guys getting hurt by hit by pitches, but it still doesn't change the fact that a hit by pitch is a good thing. It gets you on base, and it's now up to the guy who's next on deck to drive you home. That's what a hit by pitch is. It's a free base. That's why I hate this tough guy bullshit where, oh, he hit my team's player the other inning. Now I'm gonna hit them. I'm gonna give them a free base. Or he was celebrating. He was pimping home runs against us yesterday. We're gonna give them a free base. Down 9-0. Let's load the bases up. Let's make it fucking 15-0. Fuck that. It's silly.
This is a drug.
What?
I think there's a drug called like freebase.
Really? I've never heard of that.
Hang on, we're gonna Google it.
If that is true, the Mets were on that drug last year because they, like I said, they set the MLB record for most hit by pitches in a season. They were on that free base drug last year.
Free base cocaine. Yeah, it's free basing cocaine is less common these days, but it's still a dangerous and highly addictive form of cocaine. Okay, so it's cocaine.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Huh. I had to Google that. I'm sorry. On the topic of sports, a couple of years ago, this YouTube channel, Watch Mojo. They were talking about like the Watch Mojo is like a countdown list, like top 10, top 20, whatever, right?
Mm.
And they were talking about the worst, uh, uh, excuse me, some of the worst fights in hockey. And one of
Mm.
the fights had somebody had their like throat slit from the
Oh yeah, from
from
the
the
skate.
ice,
Yeah.
from the ice skate. Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
and there was like blood all over. It was. Don't watch.
That sadly has happened a couple times in the
Mm.
NHL where guys have gotten cut by a skate to the throat. That's very scary. Hockey is a very dangerous game. Not even just for the fact that they're out there body checking each other, but you just never know when a skate is
It's
gonna
gonna
come up and catch you. Yeah,
and they get into it with the fans. You know what I mean? They get into
yeah,
brawls with the fans. You okay, bro?
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That was a long time ago. That one with the Rangers and Bruins game where all the Bruins players went up and one of the Bruins players was beating a fan with a shoe. That was hilarious.
I think
Oh
you showed
my.
me that clip.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah.
That was fucking hilarious.
I remember. Was it basketball? I want to say. I think it was basketball. It was like clash at the
You talking
what
about the malice? You talking about the
Palace
malice at the
Palace.
palace?
Yeah,
Right? Yeah,
I
yeah. I remember
saw that. They talked about that one.
that.
And yeah, Malice at the Palace. Boy, you know that's crazy. Another thing that I watched was a documentary about the
Mm.
LA riots. Do you know anything about this?
A little bit, yeah.
So basic for those of you who don't know what the LA riots were, in 1991, March of 91, this
Yeah.
uh, what was he a driver? Just a driver? Rodney King. He
I
was
don't. I know. Was he pulled over? I don't. I guess he was pulled over
he
and
was
the
pulled
cops
over
attacked
for
him.
drinking and driving, you know,
Yeah. Well,
and
then he had to have been a driver then. Yeah.
then yeah, he was pulled over for drinking and driving, and he tried to run away from the cops, and the cops took excessive force, and they just beat the crap out of him. Like if you see the photos of his mugshot, like if you see his mugshot from that night, like
Yeah.
his eye is bleeding, like inside, like it's just straight up red with blood. It he had
And
like a bruised cheek. Oh, he looked horrible, right?
yeah.
And I don't care what nobody says. Yes, he made a poor decision by drinking and driving and trying to evade the police. Poor decisions. But those poor decisions don't make it okay for the cop or cops in this case to just beat the hell out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's crazy.
go ahead.
Go ahead. It's crazy how this was like pre YouTube, pre phone cameras, camera
Yeah,
phones, and all that shit, and yet somebody actually got footage of that. I think
I know.
somebody had an actual handheld on them or something,
Yeah,
and
like
they
a camera
they filmed
from
it.
across
Yeah,
the street. Yeah, and
yeah,
Ronnie even admitted that he made bad decisions that night by doing all that. So he's not proud of what he did by any means.
right.
Let's see if he's still alive. Actually,
No, he died in 2012.
okay, yeah. Well, he died right after that documentary came out. Then, bruh.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah. Um. So anyway, so fast forward to April of 1992, um, and the verdicts come down on the cops.
Mm.
Innocent, 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 innocent. You saw the photos. You saw the footage. You've seen it all. And you're gonna sit there and tell me that they're innocent. Are you
Wow.
kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that no, they're not innocent. So you go so you have that, and once those verdicts come down, people in LA were pissed, understandably. So they tried to get into I think they tried to get into where the jury was held or whatever, where the verdicts came. They were trying to get into the doors there. They couldn't. So then they just start marching in the streets. Uh, a couple of people, like a group of people, they pull out this other they pull out a guy named Reginald Denny from his truck, and they just beat the piss out of him for no reason. And actually, it was somebody. I think somebody had like a somebody was. I think somebody might have had like a cinder block, and they just like bashed it on his head. Somebody football kicked him in the skull. It was in rough shape, right? It was.
Wow.
It was yeah. And all this is happening, and you got the news helicopter videotaping all of it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you think about it, it's crazy because it's basically another 4-on-1, but with the roles reversed. But
Yeah.
in this case, there were no cops involved, whatever. So then after that, then just they start marching or whatever, and next thing you know, people are starting to set places on fire. They're looting the place before they set the place on fire, and
Mm.
it's just madness, right? It's
Yeah.
madness. And a little fun fact about it was so this went on for a few days, right?
Right.
WWF or WWE, WWF at the time, had an event set for one of those days that they were doing the rioting, and they
Mm.
pulled out because it wasn't safe. Also, Bill Cosby went on TV, I think the second night of the riots. He went on
Yeah.
TV and he goes, "Hey, everybody, please stay home. Watch the series finale of the Cosby Show. Don't go out. Don't don't go out. And don't do anything stupid. Just watch the TV tonight." You know, and I think like Arsenio Hall had an episode about it. It was nuts, and and then like all these rappers, these rappers from the West Coast, they're
Yeah.
seeing all of this, and so now they are starting to write music about it. There's one song by Snoop and Dre. I can't say the actual word because I'm not that person. Uh,
Right.
but they have a song called "The Day the N Words Took Over," which is actually a pretty good song.
Mm.
And then Ice Cube had another song called We Had to Tear This Motherfucker Up." Um, and it's like, well, you didn't have to tear it up. You made a choice to tear it up. You didn't have to. And everybody on that documentary was actually justifying the rioting. Oh well, we weren't being listened to. They weren't, listening to what we were doing or whatever, and they just thought that they could beat us up because we're black, and that's why we rioted. Riots are the voice of the people. Blah blah blah. I'm like, what?
Mhm.
How is Frank? I ask you this: how is going to a store, tearing it up, stealing stuff from said store,
Yeah.
stuff like booze or drugs, whatever, and then burning that building, how is that going to solve anything?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not. I understand you're upset and justifiably so. Not saying you didn't have any right to be upset because that was bullshit that they got off. But at the same time, you're not doing yourself any favors by ripping by doing all that stuff. You're just it's and yeah, Snoop Dogg was the narrator of the documentary, and it was a very good documentary. I thought. I absolutely love documentaries. I love those. I loved some of my favorite subjects that I watch documentaries on are like September 11th. But with that one, I have to be careful because I will get like, and not like conspiracy theory stuff, but just I'll watch so many 9/11 documentaries that eventually I'm scared again.
Mm.
Which you're like, this happened. I had to constantly remind myself, hey, 22 years ago, bro. It's not happening right now. It's 22 years old, but
Yeah.
it could happen again, right? Um,
Right.
so I just get myself scared. Like one time I went to the I was watching a documentary and I got up to go to the bathroom. I flushed the toilet, bro. Tell me why I got scared. I flushed
Mm.
the toilet and like I'm like, whoa, you know. I was like, yo,
That's crazy.
See, so I got to be careful with that. Um, I watched 2 documentaries about the Boston Marathon bombing, um, and one of them was more so about one of the bombers. Uh, I think I told you about that one. He
Yeah,
was
you did. You talked about that in one of our first episodes.
Yeah, he
First
was
few
wanted
episodes.
for a murder. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched some of that. Um, I like wrestling documentaries too. Like right
Yeah.
now, Dark Side of the Ring is fantastic. I love Dark
It
Side of
is.
the Ring. I like
Yeah.
Dark
It
Side
is.
of the '90s too. I mean,
Yeah.
well, they're coming out with a new series, Dark Side of the 2000s.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. I
Yeah,
cannot wait
yeah.
for that.
Surprisingly enough, 9/11 is not one of the subjects, though.
Really?
Yeah, one of the subjects is like Charlie Sheen. Another one's like Lindsay Lohan. Um, yeah. So
Yeah, Dark Side's mostly an entertainment show.
yeah.
So, like
Uh-huh.
Dark Side of the entertainment business, stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. Not
Because they have like
necessarily
the
like
Viper Room.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So I just love documentaries. And then, like, as far as movies are concerned, like actual movies, my top 5 of all time, in no order: Mean Girls, Ted, the first one, not so much the second one, but the first one, 21 Jump Street. Actually, I think 22 Jump Street was a bit better. So 22 Jump Street, um, The Hangover, all 3 movies, and there's Dodgeball.
Okay.
Love-
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever seen any of those movies, Frank.
Ted. I've told you I've seen Ted before a million times.
Bruh,
I'm a Family Guy fan. Of course I was gonna see Ted.
yeah, Dodgeball is just those are movies that we quote daily in our house.
Hmm.
Just
Dodgeball Candice Michelle was in Dodgeball, wasn't she? But I think she was.
let's look this up.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think I remember hearing that.
She's a mom now. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, of course.
And she has like 3 daughters.
I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
I figured by this point she would be a mom.
Other media. Uh, it doesn't say she was in Dodgeball.
Let me see. Hold on. It might have been a small ass appearance. I could be wrong though. I don't know.
She was in an episode of a softcore porn TV series, Hotel Erotica.
Okay, I never
Uh,
knew that.
Susan GoDaddy. Was she in Dodgeball? Oh, yes, she was.
Candice Michelle as cheerleader. I just found it. Yep, she was in it. She was a cheerleader.
Let me turn this. I just want to see. Oh, yeah.
IMDb. Her IMDb says it.
Oh, I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's that's a movie that gets quoted like daily at our house. It's hilarious.
Then
Uh,
how'd you not know Candice was in it? How'd you not know that?
because I don't know. I just didn't know.
I
But
didn't
yeah,
even see the movie and I know she's in.
one of the funniest quotes in the movie is it's like in the final, like one of the final, like I think it's the final game, and it's down to Peter and White Goodman, and uh, it's funny because like the commentary on dodgeball is hilarious. Um, there's a but like it's one on one, right? And Peter blindfolds himself, and one of the commentators goes, "He will not be able to see very well. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him."
Oh yeah, I've heard of that because I've seen it memed a million times.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's a bold
Yeah.
strategy, Cotton. Or back to you, Cotton.
Mhm.
Doesn't have any balls, Cotton. He's ballless. Just Do yourself a favor, Frank. Go watch Dodgeball. It's amazing. Just hilarious. That one, and you got to watch Mean Girls, dude. I swear to you, one of these nights we're gonna watch Mean Girls together because that's fantastic.
I got no problem watching Mean Girls because Amanda Seyfried is in it,
Hell
so I
yeah,
can
hell
definitely
yeah.
watch
I'm gonna give you that one. I got you on that.
it.
I
No doubt.
Amanda Seyfried is in it. Rachel McAdams was good in that too. Hell yeah. Um, the original voice of Meg was in that.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know her name either.
No, hang on.
Oh,
I just had her name. What the fuck? Hang on. I'll get her name. I'll get her name.
I love the episode they did where they had two Megs, and it was one voiced by the original girl, and the other was voiced by Mia Kunis. It's like
Lacey
I'm
Chabert.
the. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's a funny scene in that movie. There's a bunch of funny scenes, by the way, um, where like Rachel McAdams' character is introducing Lindsay Lohan's character to her mom for the first time,
Mhm.
and she's she goes, "So can I get you guys anything? Some of this, some of this. I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom, right?" And then like they take a drink of something that she made, and she goes, and Lindsay Lohan's character goes, "Is there alcohol in this?" And she's like, "Oh God, no, honey. What kind of mother do you think I am?" And then she goes, "Why do you want some? Because if you're gonna drink, I'd rather you do it in the house."
Yeah.
It's a great movie. I love comedy, and then I like comedy shows as well. But I'm a really big fan of like those uh, police shows. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was a good show. I don't know if you ever watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. There's a hilarious scene. I think it's like the opening scene. And Andy Samberg's character is in a room with this chick who's identifying the person who killed her brother, right?
Yeah.
And so I can't remember why he did it, but like he goes, he starts singing like Backstreet Boys, "Tell Me Why," and he makes everybody in the lineup start singing. Right, I'm gonna see if I can find this scene. It's hilarious. I
No,
don't think.
don't play it. Don't play it. Don't play it.
Oh, well, it's hilarious, and then and then like the chick finally goes, "Number five, number five killed my brother." He goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that part."
That's
He's
funny.
getting into the whole dance. It's hilarious. Number five,
That's
yeah, I
funny.
forgot about that part. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's and then they had like a serious episode where one of the cops who happens to be black, he's played by Jerry Crews. Oh, that's another movie, White Chicks.
Oh, I
Fantastic.
love White Chicks. I love
Okay.
White Chicks. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's a great
I've
movie as well.
seen that. I remember watching that in the movies with my dad.
Yeah. I don't think I saw that in the theaters. I watched that years later, but
Mm.
or Soul Plane. Now that's an underrated movie. You ever seen
I have wanted to see Soul Plane since like the year it came out, '04, and I never have gotten to it. At some point, I'm gonna get to that. I've wanted to see that movie for almost
That's
20 years.
hilarious as well. Soul Plane. The white kid, is like a music producer now. I mean, not now, but like in the movie, he's like a music
Yeah,
producer.
yeah.
Elvis Hunky. Yeah, hey, Ying Yang Twins, and I think Lil Jon make a cameo.
Oh, okay.
They sing their song, "Shake it like a salt shaker, shake it like a salt shaker,
Yeah.
shake it like a salt shaker, shake it like a salt shaker."
And
Banger song, by the way. That's a great song. I love Salt Shaker. That and oh, what was the other one? 369, damn, you're fine. Second thought.
oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Low,
Yeah,
get low. That's the name of that
yeah,
song. Get
yeah,
low.
yeah.
To the window, to the wall. Yeah,
I can't believe those songs are 20 years old now,
bruh,
and that's
stop it.
crazy.
Stop talking right now.
True, though. It's true.
Uh huh. Hey, I also like that song "Lovers and Friends," which is Akon. Or no, it's Lil
Uh,
Jon, Usher, and Ludacris.
and I remember when Yeah came out in '04, and I was like,
Oh
man, this
man,
song's a banger.
that
And
song's
then they
still
put out, oh yeah. Then they put out Lovers and Friends, and I'm like, This is what y'all follow up, yeah, with. Like
Hey,
I
come
ain't got
on.
no problem.
Hey,
I ain't got no problem with R&B, but like
We're
seriously,
not going to disrespect lovers and friends.
I've told you this too before, and you didn't get upset last time I told you that. I was like, we really following up, yeah, with this. Like, I got nothing against R&B songs, but I wasn't feeling that. It was like it was
Hey,
two totally different
lovers and
vibes.
friends is a banger. If that's the
Nah,
follow up to yeah, I'm for it. Yes, please.
nah, nah.
Mockingbird by Eminem, also a great song. Also a great song. Very powerful song, very emotional song. I remember when I first heard Mockingbird, I want to say I was at my aunt's house helping her pack because she was getting ready to move to another house. And that song just came on. And I was I was at her house and I'm playing with my action. And over Tony Hawk and Rico. And I was just playing with them. Yeah. So that, I like that one too. Um, yeah, yeah, I love it. Eminem puts a song. Eminem puts a song out. It's most likely going to be a banger.
Mm.
Like even he said in one of his songs, "I still get the bag when I'm putting garbage out."
That's
You know
fun.
what he means by that, right? I'm
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
money even if I put out bad music. Yeah. I
yeah,
was like, "Yep, it's a fact." He is because
yeah.
music, much like comedy, is subjective.
Right.
It's it's not
Entertainment in general is subjective.
facts.
Not everybody's gonna like the same thing.
Exactly. Hey, for instance, not the biggest Star Wars fan, not the biggest Harry Potter fan either. Me,
Yeah,
'cause there's too many of those movies that you have to follow and all that stuff, and I just don't have the patience to do that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I liked the first two Harry Potter movies, the Secrets and Sorcerer's Stone. I like those movies fine, but Prisoner of Azkaban, that's where I kind of fell off.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I
I've
did.
never, I've never seen a single Harry Potter.
You're not
Not
missing
one.
much. I promise. You're not. Being honest, I did get to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios. That
Mm.
was pretty cool. And we had the Hopper Pass at the park. Did I ever tell you about my time at Universal this past
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
on the show or just like in personal?
on the show. On the
Oh,
show.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, so we had like that Hopper Pass, so we got to go on the Hogwarts Express from one park to the other. It was awesome. It was really cool. Lots of cool shops. We did not eat there, um, which my friend Wes, shout out to Wes, he
Mm.
he's like, "Yo, you got to eat at Hogwarts." I'm like, "Yeah, we ate at like Moe's Tavern, which is in the Simpsons universe."
Yeah.
And that you already know my experience about that. That was trash. That's trash.
Yeah.
Go if you want to hear my opinion on that. Go my story on that. Go follow another video. Go watch another video about that
Mhm.
after you
If
finish the
we knew, if we knew which video, we'd tell you.
facts. Yeah, I think I talked about it with Gatsby. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's yeah. Disney World was cool. I like Disney. Um, because Disney World is Disney World. I remember the first time I ever went to Disney World. Not like I expected it to be at all. It was awesome. And then the next year I went to Disneyland, which is cool too. I think Disneyland is like the original, and then Disney World came after. Um, and then I went to. I don't even know if I told you this story, Frank. Maybe I did. I went to SeaWorld. Did I ever tell you about that?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened?
I don't remember, but I know you told me.
Okay, so we went to go see this whale, Shamu, right? And sorry, that's a Roomba. It is a beautiful whale, right? She was beautiful,
Mm.
just swimming around in this big tank, and we're waiting for her to start doing tricks. She wasn't going to do tricks because she was upset that they took her babies from her.
Yeah.
day at the park. Took her babies away. So she wasn't gonna do any tricks. So they would try to get her to go back and let other whales come out to do tricks. And nothing, nothing about like she would not let them come out or anything. And it was we waited for about an hour and a half, and they said, okay, folks, show's canceled. Sorry, because
Yeah.
we can't get her to move." So yeah, she was upset, and justifiably so. You take the babies from her. What do you expect? And then I remember in 2017, I went to Mexico, to Cancun, for a vacation. My grandpa came with us, right? And we went to this place called Ishkardet,
Yeah.
which it's pronounced Ishkardet, but it's really weird how it's spelled. It's Xcaret,
Yeah.
and it's pronounced Ishkardet, right? So we go there, and at one point, so Ishkardet, it's kind of like water park meets beach, but without the slides, right?
Right.
And
Right.
there's this big lake. There's like this huge lazy river that you got to swim through. It takes about an hour to complete. Yeah, and
Yeah.
at one point, all I had on was my swimsuit. Right, I put my phone with my towel, whatever, and I was gonna go walk this tightrope or go, yeah, walk a tightrope, right?
Yeah.
And and my mom's like, "Chris, be careful," and I'm like, what's gonna happen? I get wet? That's the worst case scenario, right? Like big
Yeah.
whoop, big whoop, right? My dad's like, Chris, look down. So I take a look down. There's two stingrays right below me. I'm like,
Yeah.
so that's what happened. That's the worst that could happen. I fall and I get Steve Irwin. Okay. So I didn't fall, fortunately, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but then that night we got back to the hotel at like 10 o'clock that night, right? And
Yeah.
this was like an all-inclusive hotel, so, like, you pay for everything up front. So once you go to the hotel, you can eat and then just up and leave whenever you want. There's no bill for your food or drinks, right?
Yeah.
So that night, we all went to the my grandpa came with us, and we all went to the bar and had a couple of drinks, and that was just really cool. And then, like, almost all week that week, it rained.
Right.
So we didn't really get much pool time, but, you know, it was a fun time. 2015 was cool too. That was like the first year I actually went to Mexico, and that was
Right.
fun. That was fun. Um, yeah, that was a cool time. Mexico is always a good time. I thought we were
Yeah.
going back in October, but I guess we're not. Change.
Did you get a couple masks from Mexico?
Not from Mexico, but I do have masks.
Okay. They got a ton of like that. Of course, in Mexico, masks are big down there for wrestling fans. So I'm sure you can find a ton down there.
I didn't really look. Excuse me. I didn't really look for the masks, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What were the masks? Frick! Oh, whoa! Careful. I can't find them right now. But
Yeah, that's all right. You don't need to bring them out.
yeah, my friend got them for me when he went to Vegas. He saw them and like,
Oh, cool.
yeah, he
The
shouts
only
because he's the one who did it. Uh, I went to Vegas for my birthday a couple years ago, 2 years ago, for my 20th birthday. That was cool. That was really cool. That was fun. We went. So this was a s- like my parents asked me one week or one day. They're like, "Chris, what do you want to do for your birthday this year?" I'm like, "I want to go to Vegas," and they're like, "Okay." So Dad goes on and he's like, "Where do you want to stay at in Vegas?" I'm like, "Wait, for real?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Caesar's Palace." Right? He's like, "Yeah, okay, cool." Books the room for Caesar's Palace, books it. So my birthday was on a Tuesday that year.
Mm.
And so we flew out on Monday. Shoot, fucking foot. My foot just fell asleep.
Did
Sorry.
you say 20? You said 28th birthday, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
because it sounded
30.
like you said. It sounded like you said 20. I was about to say 2 years ago. What?
Hey, come on, man. Don't make me out to be that old. No.
I mean,
Um,
that's what it sounded like you said. I was like, wait, what?
I am 30. That's crazy to say.
Yeah,
I am 30.
yeah.
But so we flew out on the Monday before my birthday, and we flew out at like 8 o'clock. We get to Vegas at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And because it's a very short flight, it's Colorado to Vegas, beautiful flight, right? And we
Mm.
flew out at night because I wanted to see all the lights. And like just flying into Vegas and it's dark out and you see all those lights, it's absolutely stunning and beautiful, fantastic. And so we get there, and the first thing that we decided to do was go get some food because we were hungry. Because we weren't going to bed at fucking 10 o'clock in Vegas. Who the fuck does that, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so we get there and we eat pizza and then we start walking around for a little bit. Now, this is my very first time in Vegas, so rookie mistake on my part. I paid for a drink. And that was the first and only time I paid for a drink that whole trip. Because the rest of the time, like they come by and they offer it to you. And
Right.
yeah, and it was like I think it was like $14 for one drink. I'm like, holy fuck. I mean, it's
They come by and offer it to you for free.
yeah.
Oh wow.
They see like you're playing. They do that up here at Blackhawk too. Whenever I go there, yeah, no, like they'll see you playing and they'll be like, "Hey, can I get you a drink?" Yeah, sure.
Oh, I
I'll take a
see.
Blue Moon.
Because you're already putting all that money into them by gambling, so it's like, yeah, hey, take a free drink. You're
Yeah,
probably gonna be giving us your fucking house in 2 minutes.
yeah.
So
Plus, they get tips. Yeah, they get tips.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna give us your house. Yeah, and so we're just hanging out. And then the next day, we decided to go to bed because I wanted my birthday to come. So the next morning, we wake up and I'm like, okay, Mom, Dad, I don't want to hear any excuses from you. Today is my birthday, and I say we're drinking on my birthday. And they're like, okay, cool. We
You
go,
lucky.
huh?
You lucky. I'm not. You lucky. I'm not your dad. You ain't about to peer pressure me into that.
and,
I
and
don't drink alcohol,
it was
so
my
I don't give.
birthday. It was my birthday.
I
Anyway,
don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's your first birthday, your 10th birthday, your 20th birthday, your 30th birthday. I don't care what milestone. I ain't about to drink no alcohol. You ain't about to peer pressure me.
so like okay, we go down to the casino, and Mom goes and does one thing, and me and Dad kind of just start walking around. Right, we kind of split off from her for a bit. We catch up with her. She's playing a Wizard of Oz game, and she's winning, and she's doing really, really, really good. She is 3 beers deep, and she is hammered.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh yeah," and she got. Needless to say, she kind of had to stop drinking that day because she got sick, and so she stopped. Me and Dad continued, obviously, and that night I remember just we were at this place called I think it's called the D, and we were at the bar, and me and Dad were just pounding Fireball and beer, and that was just a really cool moment. And then we went back to our hotel, and because the cool thing about Vegas is like you don't have to just stay at your hotel; you can go to other hotels and play in their casinos. It's
Right.
pretty cool. And so we go back to our hotel, and like, oh fuck, Ronnie gave me what $200. Right? No, Ronnie gave me $200, and or yeah, $200, and he goes, I want you to play I want you to play craps. Just roll, just roll the dice one time and yell one time, baby, and see if you can do anything, right? So I put the 200 down. I roll the dice. And I yell one time, baby. I roll them, bruh. I walked away with $400.
Nice.
Yeah, that was really cool. And that was just a really fun birthday trip. And then this year for my birthday, we stayed in Colorado. We kept it low key. We went to Dave and Buster's, which I don't know if you have a Dave and Buster's out there in New York,
Oh
but
yeah. I've been to Dave and Buster's.
okay. And yeah, I mean, Dave and Buster's was a really cool trip. My sister, my nephews, my brother-in-law, they got to come and hang out with us. So it was a fun trip. Um, I chose Dave and Buster's because I know what everybody's thinking. Why should you go to a bar? Well, I chose Dave and Buster's because I really wanted to spend my birthday with my nephews, and I know that they like Dave and Buster's. They like video games,
Right.
and they can't bowl yet, so going to a bowling alley that makes sense. So, yeah, we just did Dave and Buster's, and that was a fun time. That was really fun.
Right.
Um, I don't think I really did anything for my 29th birthday. Oh yeah, no. That's my Florida trip. That's my Disney and Universal Studios trip. Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
2021 was when I broke my ankle. You know, did I ever tell you how I broke my ankle, Frank?
Yeah, you fell off a ladder. I
Yeah.
was there. I was there. I remember laughing at you. It's like, you dumbass, thinking you can do all these crazy high spots like all these dumbass wrestlers. Ah,
Well, I was helping my dad put up a shelf in the
bro,
garage.
when you fell off that ladder, Dave Meltzer was there like 5 stars, baby, five
Hey,
stars.
hey,
What a performance!
how many 5 stars do you have from Dave Meltzer? Exactly.
I got like 10, 20, bro. I fell off my bed today. He was like, "Oh my gosh, what a bump! What a bump! This is awesome! This is awesome!"
Where is it? I know I have it. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Stop playing, please. Charlie Kirk. Go back. Sorry, I was trying to play Stop the Cap because you were capping pretty hard there.
You, I'm capping because Dave Meltzer wouldn't give me 5 stars for falling off the bed, bro. He would. Well, maybe. Oh, okay. I see. I would have needed to do like a couple 450s off the bed and do a
Swanton.
shooting. Yeah, yeah. Meltzer would have thought. Well, see, if I would have fell off my bed here in New York and somehow landed in Japan, maybe I would have got the 6 or 7 stars.
Bro, Dave Meltzer is so fucking stupid. Yes. I'm
And
sorry.
but the only I got no problem with somebody having opinions because
Yeah.
that's all it is. He has it, but for one, he has some of the worst opinions ever. Like McMahon's all over the product being worst promotional, whatever the hell the award
Yeah.
called. Yeah, promotional tag. That dumb opinion. But he also the fact that most wrestling fans like take his word as gospel.
I know.
Like that's the problem. Mostly
See,
making fun. It's mostly not just making fun of Meltzer, it's just making fun of the fans who just like eat everything he says up. Like damn. Like
Dave,
yeah,
he is
yeah.
no,
That
he is no different than you or myself. He's a wrestling fan,
right,
right?
right. Yep.
And yet people take his word as, oh, Dave Meltzer said it, so it's gospel. Like, no.
And Dave Meltzer probably makes some cash off doing what he does. So I ain't hating the hustle.
Making
Good
money.
for him. Yeah,
I
good
guess
for
I can't
him. But
blame him for his readers being stupid.
yeah, and yeah, they think that doing flips and doing cool moves is what
Gymnastics.
wrestling should be. That's the issue. Dave Meltzer. All you need to know about Dave Meltzer's and how he rates wrestling. He gave Hogan and Andre -3 stars, which is an absolute joke. That's a real 5-star match. Not oh, let's do a bunch of cool flips and shooting star presses into 450 splashes, blah, blah, blah.
I wonder what he gave Macho Man versus Ricky Steamboat from WrestleMania 3.
I would think that he will give that like 4.5, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Which I would
But
agree with,
but
actually.
but Ken, Kenny Omega matches, Young Buck matches, are 5 stars?
Mm,
Are you out of your fucking mind? First of
yeah.
all, let's
See,
let's first of all, we're not even going to talk about how overrated those fucking twinks are. They are ungodly overrated. Okay,
see
and
now I feel now I'm not gonna argue what you said there, but I feel that and not I'm not trashing the match in any way. It was a great match, but Savage and Steamboat is a little overrated. Now, great build up, solid match, but it cannot hold a candle to Hogan and Andre. Hogan and Andre were the mega stars on that card, and the
in
crowd,
terms
that's
of
what
star
they
power,
came.
you're right. In terms of star power, yes.
No, and in terms of what to me, what makes a match great are the fans sitting there going nuts for your every move. They were going nuts for Hogan and Andre's every move. It didn't matter if they were doing fucking, fucking pushes. They could have been sitting and pushing each other, and the
No,
crowd would have been eating it up.
yeah,
That's what, to
stars
me, what makes a 5-star match.
because they're
Not,
stars. It's kind of
yeah,
like
and do not get me wrong. I think WrestleMania 3, in my opinion, is one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, simply because of those two matches. I think Savage and Steamboat was great, but I'm sorry, it cannot hold a candle to Hogan and Andre.
aside from those two matches, what else was on the WrestleMania 3 card?
There was a lot of really good stuff on that card.
You want me to
I
get your DVD
know
or your VHS?
Bundy wrestled a couple of little guys. That
Okay,
was kind of entertaining. Okay, here it is. Let me see. Uh, Piper and Adrian
I knew
Adonis.
it. I knew it.
Yeah,
You, yeah,
Piper, Piper and Adrian Adonis. That was a match where like it was supposed to be Piper's last match and everything. That was actually really good. Rest in peace to both of them.
yeah.
Junkyard Dog and Harley Race as well. Rest in peace to them. If JYD refuses to submit to the self-proclaimed, oh no, I thought that was. Oh yeah, here we go. Loser of this match will be forced to bow down at the feet of the winner. Hart Foundation and Danny Davis. Danny Davis was a heel referee at the time. Versus British Bulldogs and Tito Santana. That was a fun little 6-man. Danny Davis stole the show in that match. He was good as the heel ref. Who's it says here former referee because I think the storyline is he got fired for doing underhanded tactics and everything. Jake Jake Roberts and Honky Tonk. Oh no, wait. Jake Roberts versus Honky Tonk Man. Billy Jack Hayes versus Hercules Hernandez. Coco Beware, Butch Reed, Killer Bees versus Sheik and Koloff. Can-Am Connection versus Magnificent Morocco and Cowboy Bob Orton. Rougeau brothers, who I like, they were a great tag team, versus Greg Valentine and Bruce Beefcake. Hillbilly Jim. Oh yeah, this is the match I was talking about. Hillbilly Jim with the Haiti Kid and Little Beaver against King Kong Bundy, Little Tokyo, and Lord Littlebrook. That's your WrestleMania 3 card. It's, in my opinion, one of the best WrestleManias ever.
One of my favorite WrestleManias is WrestleMania 8 or WrestleMania 14, which
Hmm.
happened in '98. I watched.
Yeah,
I used to have a DVD or not a DVD. I used to have a VHS
I
of that.
have the
I
tape.
watched
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I have the tape.
Yeah, they had a great card too. I mean,
Yeah,
Taka
I mean,
Michinoku. Yeah,
you really gonna say they had? Oh my gosh! If Tro was in this, I wish we could clip that and just make fun of it. You really just sat here and said that had a great card. Taka Michinoku. Taka Michinoku. Oh
yeah.
my. You gonna talk about WWE?
First of
You
all,
gonna talk about 1998 WWE with all that star power, with all the great characters they had, all the great star power they had,
Taka
and the
Michinoku was
first
a great
motherfucker you
character.
gonna mention? What was that?
Taka Michinoku was a great character.
No, he. I've no disrespect to him, but no. That's the first dude you gonna mention. We talking about WWE at its height, at one of the greatest time periods in the history of business, right in the middle of it. In 1998, Rock, Austin, Undertaker, Triple H, D'Lo Brown was an entertaining undercard. Val Venus, who I'm not sure if he had debuted. He didn't debut yet, so scrap that. But yeah, all these great entertaining undercard guys, all these great mega stars, and the first motherfucker you're gonna mention is Taka Michinoku. What?
You could have mentioned Funaki.
Funaki honestly would have been better, but still, to mention Funaki, to mention Taka Michinoku, the first guy you're gonna mention, you got if somebody sat here and said, "Bro, sell me WrestleMania 14," you gonna sit there like Taka Michinoku. This gonna be how it happens. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, bro, sell me WrestleMania 14. Okay, Taka Michinoku.
Yes. Yes.
That's me walking out on the pay-per-view after you sold it to me.
Oh, okay. Like you haven't had your fair share. Okay.
Taka Michinoku. That's the first dude you got.
Indeed.
That was funny. Yeah, the Indeed thing was funny, but no, Taka Michinoku. No, bro. That's the first dude you gonna mention when talking about a 1998 pay-per-view.
I choppy your pee.
Fuck Peacock for editing that segment.
He did?
Bro,
oh damn.
Yeah, not the scene where he cuts the sausage and actually says that. The scene at the end, the very end of the episode, with the next episode, I think it was, where Val Venus is like tied up. They got him tied up.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they edited that. It was like a 1 second thing. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Nobody's actual penis got cut off in that segment. There was some nudity, but the nudity was blurred. On the original, well, I'm not sure if the original, but every version of that I've seen, it was edited. I mean, censored. The nudity of Val Venus's, derriere hanging out was censored. And yet, meanwhile, Peacock still edited it out. What the hell was wrong with that segment?
By the way, that was hilarious what you just said. Nobody's penis really got cut off, so it's fine.
I'm serious. No, they act like it actually did happen. I love how the very next show
What are you guys talking about? Wrestling.
No, I love how
yeah, wrestling.
I love how the very next week the first segment they had was the guy who actually inspired the whole angle. I think he inspired the angle, but the guy who actually in real life had his
John Bob.
John Bob. They had him come out, and so the storyline is nothing happened to Val Venus because once the lights went out, because the lights go out and they go off the air. So once the lights go out, it's John Wayne Bobbitt who actually saves Val Venus. That was tremendous. John Wayne Bobbitt. That was tremendous. He's like, there's not going to be another one. I'm not going to allow this again.
You know what happened to him, right?
Yes, his wife did it.
His wife, bit it off.
I think she cut it off with a scissors or something.
I thought it was that she bit it off and then she threw it out of the car.
No, I don't. I know she did throw it out of the car, but I don't think she bit it off. I think she actually. It's crazy that.
I mean, that mouth game's strong. If she. Hey, we don't get canceled. We better chill.
I really want Tro. I really wish Tro was here because I want him to cut that whole not cut it, but cut it into a clip that whole Taka Michinoku segment because we need that as its own video. I need to put that in the brand.
Include the choppy your pee part too. Include
maybe I want to put that post in the damn brand group to just look how they will tear you apart in the brand group, bro. He was like WrestleMania 14, 1998 WWE. Watch that because of Taka Michinoku. That's what you want to watch that for.
Let me defend myself on that. And
I'm not even gonna let you.
Tro, make sure you clip this part too. Yes, I mentioned Taka Michinoku at the start because I remember he had a match at WrestleMania 14 against, I want to say, S.A. Rios, but I could be wrong.
I don't think he's. I don't remember S.A. Rios being on.
Aguilera or Aguila, that was his name.
Maybe that Aguila guy. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he is known as S.A. Rios, but Aguila,
Oh,
that was him.
oh no, you're right. Yep, light heavyweight champion Taka Michinoku versus Aguila. Bruh, look at this card. And you really going, the first thing that comes to your mind is Taka Michinoku versus Aguila? Bruh. Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold. Kane versus Undertaker. One of the greatest storylines in the history of the company. Kane and Undertaker. Owen Hart versus Triple H. You got Rocky on the card. New Age Outlaws against Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. All this shit. And the first thing you can think of is Taka Michinoku versus Aguila.
Yes.
I don't even know if we're saying his name right. If we aren't, we apologize.
It's Taka Michinoku, I think.
No, I'm talking about Aguila.
Oh.
Is it Aguila? I don't know. If we're saying his name wrong, we apologize.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not apologizing on his behalf. I don't know if he apologizes or not. If you want to hate him, send your hate to Drunk McGee at AOL.com. Not to mention, Seibel is also on the damn card in a mixed tag match.
You know, I'm gonna say something that you're gonna fucking hate, Frank. Seibel was never all that for me. She didn't do much.
For you, okay. See, I got no problem with you saying that she was nothing for you, because again, it's all opinions. We'll make fun of each other over opinions for every time. That's fine, but bruh, you're flat out wrong. Seibel is one of the biggest stars, female stars in the history of this country.
She was a big star.
And I would rather watch Seibel and Mark Merrill versus the artist formerly known as Goldust and Luna than Taka Michinoku versus Aguilera. Come on now. Are you kidding me?
If you just say Aguilera, where is there an R in that name, bro?
I don't know how do you pronounce the name. I'm sorry. It's Aguilera. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
There's no R in it, so you can't say Aguilera, bro. He's not Christina.
Whatever the hell his name is. I know him more as S.A. Rios. Yeah. See, and I needed a second to think about that. That shows you how big a fan I am of him.
Yeah. Oh wait, Ron. Ron Parsons in chat. Ron, what's up? Mirrors are a scam? LOL. God, I miss you, man. Hey, run it back a little bit, Ron. You just talk about Taka Michinoku.
Yeah, bro, Ron, I wish you were here, bro. This dude started talking about WrestleMania 14. He's like, bro, y'all need to watch WrestleMania 14. You know what? Taka Michinoku. What?
Yes, Taka Michinoku. Great character. Yes.
No, he was okay as a character. With the, what was the tag team name? Kaientai. They were okay. They were entertaining. I give them the flowers. But Taka Michinoku, this was not Kaientai. This is Taka Michinoku as a singles guy.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's okay. I'm not disagreeing with that. But you fucking look at the roster on this tape. Look at the roster of WWE in that year. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, Triple H, etc. Some of the bigger stars in the company at the time. And you go the first name to come to out of your mouth when talking about WWE in 1998 is Taka Michinoku.
Yes.
Wow, bro.
And Ron says, thanks for answering him, by the way, yesterday.
Oh, I was asleep when you asked me that, but you're lucky you were, because apparently you won some money. You can thank my boy Francisco Alvarez, because he hit another bomb yesterday before they hit him. And you missed that whole conversation. I would have liked to hear your thoughts on that conversation where I was talking about the hit by pitch stuff.
Bro,
yeah.
So you're just gonna get people to clown on me? Is that what this is?
Bro, you deserve to get clowned on. You really talk about WWE in 1998, and the first guy that comes to your mind is Taka Michinoku.
Hey, WWE in 1993. First guy I'm going to talk about. I don't even know. Brooklyn Brawler.
That's essentially the same thing. That's literally what you're doing there. Taka Michinoku is Brooklyn Brawler level. But
Excuse
Brooklyn
the fuck
Brawler,
out of you with that disrespect.
no, ain't no excuse of fuck. Brooklyn Brawler was more entertaining, first of all, than Taka Michinoku. I'm gonna stand by that. I will die on that hill.
Oh, get ready to die, motherfucker. No, just kidding. Bruh. Brooklyn Brawler. How many titles has Brooklyn Brawler held?
Bro, don't give me this fake title argument stuff, bro. Come on now. Bro,
Hey, how many WrestleManias did he compete at?
a couple. I'm pretty sure he did a couple. He how many main events did Taka Michinoku have? Taka Michinoku never main evented and he never will. I'm sorry. Maybe he main evented in Japan and Dave Meltzer thought it was the greatest match of all time. I'm sure he did. And that's probably why he ended up getting to the WWE, because he was so big in Japan.
Disrespect on Taka Michinoku's name is
Taka Michinoku. Are you kidding me, bro? It's not even just like Taka Michinoku. It's the fact that he's the first guy you legitimately mention when talking about WrestleMania 14. With all the talent, with all the not talent, with all the star power.
Because obviously people are going to talk about Shawn and Stone Cold. They're going to talk about Undertaker and Kane, and rightfully so.
Because those are the big matches.
You got to give everybody their flowers while they're still here. Taka Michinoku deserves his flowers. And so did Rios, come to think about it. You know, you're sitting here flipping out over me saying Taka Michinoku. Bruh, what about S.A. Rios? Because he was in that match too.
The same thing. Bro, they were not. Bro, that you want to see a good cruiserweight / light heavyweight division, because they were calling it the light heavyweight division at this time. Look at WWE in 2003, SmackDown 03, where they had all those characters. It wasn't just a bunch of guys doing flips. That's all Taka Michinoku and fucking Aguilera or whatever his name is.
Bro, it's not Christina. There's no R in his name.
Whatever the heck his name is. We'll just call him question mark, because that's about it. He's who? And so is Taka Michinoku, bro. You want to look at a great cruiserweight division, an entertaining cruiserweight division. Jamie Noble, when he was rolling with Nidia, they were entertaining as hell. Even Tajiri in 03 was entertaining because of the stuff he was doing with Eddie Guerrero. But when he turned heel, he was pretty good too. Matt Hardy with the version 1 gimmick. That's an entertaining cruiserweight division. That is an actual cruiserweight division where the cruiserweights are actually a big part of the show because of how entertaining they are. Bruh, Taka Michinoku and 3 question marks was an afterthought in 1998. Nobody cared. Watch those matches and listen to that crowd. Nobody cared about that.
Character for you, Brian Lawler.
Brian Lawler was good. Brian Lawler was definitely good, but he had nobody to work with. He had a bunch of guys that nobody cared about.
Taka and SA.
Nobody cared about Taka. Nobody cared about SA. That's why that's why nobody talks about the light heavyweight division when they talk about the Attitude Era. Because nobody cared. Everybody wanted entertainment back then. They wanted to see stars. They wanted to see Stone Cold, Sable, Triple H, Rock. Those are the guys everybody wants to see. Even D-Lo. You want to talk about the Attitude Era undercard. Everybody acts like the Attitude Era's undercard didn't get good until, Benoit came in with Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko. Whip-de fucking do. No, the undercard was good before they came in. With guys like D'Lo Brown. I'd rather watch D'Lo Brown than Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and Chris Benoit any day. D'Lo Brown was entertaining as hell. Godfather.
What about Eddie?
There's a reason I didn't mention him when I said all that. Eddie Guerrero was very entertaining, and who am I forgetting? Jericho came in 99. Jericho is very entertaining. Yeah. Jericho and Eddie, I don't put in that conversation as cruiserweights nobody cared about, because Eddie and yeah. See, when they gave and I'm not even saying that because of Chris doing what he did. we all know what I mean by that. We're
He was
not getting
very
into that.
sound in the ring. He was very
But
good
he was not a star.
character.
He was not a star. That's all he was a technical wrestler. And nobody the in my day, the wrestling I grew up on, nobody cared about technical wrestling. We cared about stars. And Chris Benoit was not a star. People talk about who the worst WCW champion is. I don't care what you want to say about Russo. Putting the belt on Russo, that was entertaining. Putting the belt on David Arquette, that was entertaining. The worst belt move in WCW history was when they put the belt on Benoit. Not because
Well,
he
you
dipped on them.
it right now.
Not because he dipped on them. He could have stayed around. It still would have been the worst decision. You are in the middle of a ratings war. You need to get all the viewers you can. WWE is at their very best right now. And you are putting your faith in Chris Benoit when you got Kevin Nash, when you got Sid, when you got Sting, you still have Hogan, Flair, and you're gonna put the belt on Benoit. See, I have all the respect in the world for Sullivan. Hang on. I have all the respect in the world for Sullivan because most men, if they were in that position and they felt, because see, Sullivan felt like Benoit was a guy. Most men in Sullivan's situation, it didn't matter who it was. It could have been Hogan. If they felt like he was the right guy, they wouldn't have done it because of how Benoit took his wife. I respect the hell out of Kevin Sullivan for doing what he felt was a good business move, even though I totally disagree with it being a good business. It was not. Putting the belt on Benoit was the worst decision WCW could have ever done. They were lucky that he left right after.
And Ishmael in the chat, Ishmael says he was leaving WCW and Eric still put the belt on him.
I think it was but I think it was Sullivan who had the decision. Yeah, what's up, Ishmael?
Shout out to
I think
Ishmael.
it was
Shout out to the Venom and Smoke podcast. Everybody go.
Yeah, no doubt. Ishmael, a fellow Met fan, so of course I shot him out, no doubt.
What was I going to say? I don't even know. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You mentioned Sting, Hogan, Flair, all throwing Kevin Nash, all throwing Booker T.
I did mention this. I did mention.
I'll throw them.
Yeah, Booker T would have been a better option. I agree with that.
They would have better options than Vince fucking Russo.
See, Russo was not meant to carry the company. That's the difference. Russo was not meant. That was meant to be a 1 week thing to just entertain.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. On fire right now. Hopefully they can keep it up. But Russo was not. With the weather, yeah, it might be. But they haven't been. They've been on the road lately, pulling off. Well, they were on the road this last series. But yeah, it's been hot these last few days, and that's probably why the Mets are getting hot. Who knows? But what was I gonna say? Yeah, Russo putting the belt on Russo did not mean that Vince Russo was all of a sudden going to carry the company and he was going to be working main events every week and he was going to be the guy that everybody's going to, latch on to. That's not what that meant. That was supposed to be just 1 week, and that's all it was. The very next week, he gave the belt up. That was just supposed to be an entertaining segment. And I hope see, Trove's not even in here, but I'm gonna try to see if we can get him to clip some of this stuff because we've gotten hot in this second half of this video. The moment you said Taka Michinoku, the fireworks started, man.
Hey,
but but hold on. The whole thing with Russo, like I said, it was not meant for him to carry the company. It was a 1 week thing to get heat on him. And of course, he gave the belt right up the very next week. Now, David Arquette, that's fine. But I think at that time he was so tired out, and I think that's why. I agree that he could have had somebody just beat the ever living hell out of him. I can see that definitely, but for some reason he didn't do that. But now, the thing with David Arquette, again, David Arquette actually was in a paper. Yeah, I'm glad you actually said that.
David Arquette, because
I'm glad you actually said that.
Yeah.
Not just that, not just for promote a movie. That's not why they put the belt. They didn't put the belt on David Arquette to get everybody to see Ready to Rumble. They put the belt on Arquette because David Arquette was mainstream. And it's like Vince Russo always says, the very next day, he pulled out USA Today, and what was the first thing he saw on the cover? It was David Arquette with the WCW title. Don't get no more mainstream than USA Today. And that's what that was. And the one main event, the one pay-per-view main event match he had was with like 20 other, not 20, it's like 5 or 6 other dudes in that triple cage match.
Yeah, Ishmael says WCW was already dying when Russo became champ. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and then Russo winning the title
It
basically
was,
put the fucking dagger
I
in
just,
him.
I disagree with that. That Russo winning the title is what put the dagger in him. I don't believe
There's
that
a number of
anything.
things. That was just one of them.
No, see, and you're gonna look at the actual stuff they do on the shows. I don't believe that anything that they did on the shows was the reason they went under. The reason they went under is because of AOL Time Warner. That merger was the end, and there was
That's the
nothing
agency
Russo.
they're using.
There's nothing Russo and Ferrara could have done. There's nothing Eric Bischoff could have done. And see, this is one. This is if you want to. If I'm going to put anything negative on WCW 2000 in terms of just the show, see, I don't really care. My entertainment value is not the business. What the ratings on television say, I really don't care about any of that. But if I'm going to put as a fan one negative thing about WCW 2000, there were too many cooks in the kitchen once you brought in Russo and Ferrara. If you bring in Russo and Ferrara, they're trying to do their thing, and you got Eric Bischoff over here going, no, we're doing it this way. Because when Vince Russo and Ferrara came in, they had a plan that they were going to take the legends like Hogan, Flair, all those guys, et cetera, they were going to be on the shelf for some time. And, and what Russo and Ferrara was going for, that once they came back, the hope is that they would be better than ever. And now, I just read this in Hogan's book. I just finished Hulk Hogan's 2002 book a few days ago. First of all, he destroyed Russo, man. But he said, Russo would put me on the shelf, and then Eric Bischoff would be like, nope, you're coming back. See, that's too many cooks in the kitchen right there. Vince Russo's trying to do something, and Eric Bischoff is going, no, we're doing we're doing it my way. You can't have two different, and I say Russo and Ferrara, I say them as one team. So maybe 3 people, but it's 2 different writers. You can't have 2 different writers, controlling the show right there if they have 2 totally different outputs. And I still say I love those Nitros from 2000 better than almost anybody who does love them. But like I said, if there was one issue that I would have is too many cooks in the kitchen. I love Bischoff. I love Russo and Ferrara. But
do you know who should have won the world title in WCW?
Who?
Taka Michinoku. I had to. I'm sorry.
And everybody bitches about Russo and Arquette winning the belt, but this motherfucker wanted to put the big gold belt on Taka Michinoku. On Taka Michinoku. What is he gonna face Sid or Nash in the next big pay-per-view? They're gonna do a fucking big brawl in a cage match that's gonna be built up like nobody's gonna give a fuck about that.
Taka could beat Sid. Taka could beat Hogan.
I'm not saying if they could beat him. I'm not saying if the writer chooses to have Taka Michinoku beat Sid or beat Hogan, it definitely could happen. But Taka Michinoku, look at this. So, what's the saying? When you go to the shows and there's the big thing in writing, how do you say that again? Oh, I forgot what they said. What was that?
The LED or whatever?
No. I forgot how they say it, but for this, I'll just say the billboard. That's not how they say it, but you're going to walk into an arena for a wrestling show, and the billboard's going to say, tonight, Taka Michinoku versus...
There's things that kind of move around?
No. But the thing says Taka Michinoku versus Hulk Hogan. It's like, okay, Hogan, I get, but why the hell do I want to watch this Taka Michinoku guy?
Why the hell wouldn't you want to watch Taka Michinoku?
Because he's not a star. All he does is flips.
Marquee,
yes, the marquee. If the marquee says Taka Michinoku, nobody's coming to your show. With all respect to Taka Michinoku. If the marquee says Taka Michinoku, nobody. And I was just saying that a minute ago. You sold. That was your way of selling WrestleMania 14, everybody, by saying Taka Michinoku. You were the marquee, and you just took everybody, and everybody just went home. They saw that marquee, and everybody just went home. WrestleMania 14, right in the middle of the biggest
Respect
time
on
period in the history.
Goku's name is too
I'm
damn
sorry.
high.
Well, deal with it.
Taka is a fucking goat.
Oh my gosh, you did not just say
Ishmael,
goat. Oh
help
my
me out,
goodness.
buddy. Come on. Help
Oh
me out,
my
buddy. Taka
goodness.
Michinoku. A
You
goat.
just
Yes.
no. Oh my goodness.
Ron, you too. I know you're still watching.
Oh my gosh. I know Ron wouldn't say that. I know Ron would. Ron said he was okay. Which, yeah, he was okay.
Taka
He was.
who's button. Damn.
Who said that?
Ishmael.
You wanted him to back you up. Well, there you go. I'm telling you, nobody's gonna back you up on this. The only
Nobody go
people,
follow the Vitamin Smoke podcast. This Ishmael guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
guys, follow the Venom and Smoke podcast, bro. First off, like I said, Ishmael's a Met fan. You gotta hit him up, bro. But yeah,
I'm kidding.
Taka
Ishmael. I love you, brother. It's all joke. Please go follow Vitamin Smoke podcast.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Do it, but every time he talks, just mute your computer and just listen to Lala and Mo.
Ishmael ain't never coming back, bro. He ain't never gonna come back with this shit.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you got thanks for the plug and fuck talk. Wow.
Who said that? Oh yeah. That's funny.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh wait, before we go, and I hope Ishmael can see this too. Sam Gray just sent me this. Friend of the show, Sam Gray. It's a meme of Randy Savage. It says, "Welcome back, folks. I'm Gene Oakland here, and here is the man. And Randy, what's with the broom? Sweeping the D-backs completely clean. Oh yeah." Savage got the Met. Savage got the Met hat on. I love it. All the Diamondback fans are going to unsubscribe. Any Diamondback fans who are subscribing are now going to unsubscribe after this. But shout out to Sam Gray. And shout out to Francisco Alvarez, the best damn catcher in the game. See, now, if you were a baseball fan, if you want to talk about the best catcher to play for the Mets this season, you'd probably say Tomas Nido. That's the equivalent of saying Taka Michinoku is the GOAT. Yeah, Tomas Nido is better than Francisco Alvarez.
Yeah, you know what?
That's pretty much.
That's the title of our next video. Taka Michinoku the GOAT.
No, the hell it won't.
Bruh, I'm telling you,
fuck it will be.
We're gonna make it that title, and we're gonna get views, boy.
The hell we will. We're gonna get views of people saying, "Well, what the fuck are you talking about?" The people are gonna unsubscribe to us if we do that. Unsubscribed, bro. You really putting Taka Michinoku in the same breath as Hulk Hogan by saying Taka Michinoku's the GOAT? Get the hell out of here. Hulk Hogan's the GOAT, and Taka Michinoku can't lace Hulk Hogan's boots.
The feeling. Okay. Nido is better than Taka.
Nido. And
is it Nido?
Yes, it is Nido. See, me and Ishmael are the Met fans here. We know who we're talking about. You don't, but that's the equivalent of saying Taka Michinoku.
Taka, absolutely nobody.
Oh
Ladies
my
and gentlemen,
god!
Go follow my man Ishmael. Go follow his podcast, the Vitamin Smoke podcast. Like this video. Comment down below your favorite Taka Michinoku match.
Oh my god! We're gonna have so many unsubscribers.
But Frank, that's Frank. I'm CJ. We out. Deuces.